guys, welcome back to Festival TV. How are you, Martyn?
I'm fine, thanks, Sally. Yeah.
It's great to have you here.
Thank you.
You doing all right?
Yes, I think so. Apart from the foot, yeah.
So, how's the Bible studies gone this morning?
It went fine. As I said, as I just said to another interviewer, asking a person who's led a Bible study how it went is not an easy question to ask. I prayerfully prepared what I did. I did what I did. It was received in different ways. It's gone.
It's gone. I like that. You're back here again. It's
tomorrow and Monday, yeah.
Yeah, nice. And tell us about what you're up to at the moment, Central Hall.
Well, I am, as I've been for the last 39 years, a Methodist minister.
Yeah, still the same.
Same old.
Yeah.
And now I'm in central London at Methodist Central Hall, Westminster.
It's an interesting time to be at Central Hall. I guess there's a lot going on there.
Very much so, yeah. There was the awful happening on Westminster Bridge in March. Actually, I missed a lot of that because I was early recovering from my operation on my ankle. But even since Manchester early this week, and particularly with the Prime Minister following the advice of the Cobra Committee to escalate our security levels, I've had 3 meetings this week, both with the police and local organisations, about what it means to try and increase your security without actually closing down a public building. I mean, the easiest thing in the world is just lock all the doors and throw the keys away. But how does that help anybody? But
how do you be church in that environment? Like, I guess that's the question for us here. Grace is the theme this week. But how do you be church? How do you show grace in, and balance that with being safe all at the same time? How do you do that?
Well, what we tend to do is to ask our security people who are on the front door to walk a very thin red line and a very gracious red line between being a smile, welcome to the building, can I help you, which room are you going to, and it could be anything from the public cafe to something. If we have big conferences in, and of course what you've got to remember is that Methodist Central Hall is used most of the time for commercial bookings. And so you might have 17 people. We did. Thursday afternoon, we had 1,500 people for a Shell AGM meeting. For the shareholders of Shell, used our place.
Wow.
Well, when they come in, they've got their own staff, so their bags were searched by their own, Shell's own staff, employed staff. And then they're all given a lanyard, and then they're upstairs, and when you go upstairs, there's people who are showing them into the room. In terms of the church, it's much more chilled in the sense that if somebody's saying, I'm coming to see the minister, security escort them to the reception desk. The reception desk ring up, and either we come down for them or they come up and we meet them at the edge of the.
You're in quite a location, I guess. It's quite an influential location to be. How is the church being received in that location? Like that, because we hear stories about the church, negative stories about the church, negative press. What are you feeling like it's being received at the heart of the capital city?
We're surrounded by tourists, and thousands and thousands of tourists use Methodist Central Hall, Westminster, like they use other buildings like Westminster Abbey in the vicinity as a place where you go to look round. So part of our mission is to have cards in many languages which say God loves you. When we have acts of worship, we have them in the 3 main languages of the world, which is English, Chinese and Spanish. And I think we have a further 4 languages now. And they're in there. This is a Christian church. Please come and join us if you feel able to, or whatever. We have prayer ministry teams there about a lot of the time. The chapel is open for prayer most of the time, even if the rest of the building is shut down. You can get in from the road. And we have a number of people who are what's called visitor hosts, who show people around as a building, but make it clear in the way that they show round, like a good tourist guide can, something of the passion of what the building's about.
That's awesome, and that's a really key gift, isn't it?
It is, and bless them, they do a great job.
Fantastic. Tell us a little bit about Festival. You've been many times before, you've hosted this many times before.
Well, I've actually been to Festival twice in the last 10 years.
Wow, I thought it was going to be more than that. So tell us, Festival, what does it mean to you? What does it mean to you to be back here?
I'm going to disappoint you enormously now, Ali. Because you want me to say how great and how spiritual it is, and there have been great times here, and there have been times of great blessing. But if you remember a staff here, Festival is hard work.
Yeah, it is.
And it's and in the time that I was here, it was when we had a reasonably sizable full-time student population. Yeah. We'd spend weeks doing what was called manual, cutting the grass and doing the rose garden and making sure that
cleaning the toilets.
So all my memories of many festivals have more to do with just being thankful that another festival had come and gone, and it was a source of blessing rather than actually, I can tell you here was a place where this happened and that happened. Sorry about that.
No, it's such a sad, but that's okay. That's good. We like to hear that. And you travel quite a lot, don't you? You're seeing lots of things going on. This is about grace, so we're talking about the church and how we can show grace. What were you seeing in the church at the moment that's really excited you? What have you seen going on around?
I think one of the things that I'm going to say over the next 2 days, and particularly on the third day, is that the church is, in my mind, the single most potent transformative power for peace and unity in the world.
That's important.
And that sounds ridiculous when you think around the world how many flashpoints are located around faith issues.
Religious stuff.
Though very, very few of them are ever divorced from a whole collection of other issues like politics, culture, language, land, etc., etc. But everywhere I go, and I don't do as much travelling now as I once did, but everywhere I go, the people I meet, some of the expressions of grace are unbelievable. Right. I'm going to tell a story maybe on the third day when I was in Thailand a few years ago, which was the sex capital of the world. And I was there for a church conference where they put us in a 5-star hotel from people around the world where we had to do a kind of symposium book. But every night we used to walk down
through this
out of the guarded gardens of the hotel down into some of the streets of Pattaya, and there what you witnessed in terms of open prostitution.
Wow.
And right in the middle of that there was a group of women who'd opened a shop next to all the other shops, and they were receiving prostitutes who were taking an hour off in the middle of the night. And they provided bathing facilities, hairdressing, and they did their nails for them.
Wow.
And while they did all that, they said, "You are worth more than this,
Wow.
It was impossible for them to say to the government in Thailand, "We want nothing to do with this." So some people, even listening to this, will sort of say, "How is that a Christian ministry?"
Yeah.
And I agree with you. It's fraught with compromise and all that sort of stuff. But if you'd have gone there and actually just seen how a Christian woman sits at 2 o'clock in the morning and paints the nails of a prostitute and tells her that God loves her, that's grace.
It's like street pastors and food bags, same thing. Thanks so much for coming by.
Okay, not at all.
You have a great time. We'll see you throughout the weekend.
I'm here till Monday and then back to London, so I hope to do, Ali. Bless you.
All right, thanks, Martyn. Thank you. Bye.